But now on ITV1, well, a chance for you to have your say on Late Attitude.
Hello and welcome to Late Attitude, the show where you get to decide what we talk about, and surprise, surprise, sex just keeps popping up. Now, we might always be up for a quickie, but are we prepared to be parents when things go wrong?
People put us down so much, saying that we're not responsible enough and everything like that. I really do think that we can make great parents.
They should be doing something else, having fun, experiencing life. It's a lot of weight to carry, you know, just being a parent.
Can teenagers make good parents, and what's it like bringing up a child as a teen mum, sometimes on your own? What do you guys think? Are teenagers responsible enough to have kids of their own? It's a mixed response there. What are you saying?
Yeah, I think they can. It depends on the person, and sometimes you find that the responsibility of having a baby brings out the best in someone.
So you're saying it's going to be a good thing, that
Can be, yeah.
Can be, okay. What about yourself?
I don't think so, because at the age of 16 you can't even vote, you can't drive, and you can't go watch a movie and over 18, so how can you have the responsibility for another human being?
What about, you'd change your views if you got pregnant, maybe?
Possibly not, no.
No, okay. Well, there'll be more views from this lot here at Evolution in Leeds in just a moment, but first joining us from 96.3 Radio Air is Richard Purvis. Richard, what else has been on the news this week?
Well, following on from last week's show, Richard, when we talked about terrorism, 8 people have been arrested, mainly in the southeast this week, and police have found half a tonne of fertiliser, which can be used to make bombs as well.
Oh, fertiliser, a lot of roses.
Exactly. We've also had, though, this week, a woman from Keighley who's admitted trying to con 3 couples by selling her baby on the internet. Now, she could face up to 10 years in jail for that.
Okay, what about this child sitting in front of a TV thing?
Yeah, this report about kids these days lacking social skills because they don't interact with anybody. They just get given their dinner, plonked down in front of the TV, and they're just left to, you've got nobody to talk to.
Sorry, mate, you lost me there. I was thinking about what's on TV tonight. Justine, what about a bit of fluff, love?
As long as it's not your crack fluff, Richard, we'll be okay. I'm here with Liz Whittaker from 96.3 Radio Air. Right, there seems to be... You're helping me discuss all the lighter side of life, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Tom and Penelope have been big in the news this week. They've finally split up. These are the 2 Cruises.
Yes.
Tom Cruise and Penelope Cruz. They finally split up after 3 years.
After 3 years. Apparently that was due to her dad sticking his nose in, wasn't it, to their affairs?
He wasn't happy about Tom being a Scientologist, I don't think. He thought he was a gynaecologist when they got together.
Wouldn't like that one myself. But there seems to be a spate of celebs all splitting up at the moment, all the couples splitting up. Who else is on the list?
J-Lo and Ben Affleck have finally decided to go their separate ways
Finally.
after about a year of dithering.
Yeah, and Britney also was in the press as well, because she married her childhood sweetheart, didn't she?
Yeah.
Now, some people say that was a PR stunt. I personally believe it was to piss Justin off. But then again, when you're the world's sexiest woman, you can do what you want, really, can't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you start off talking about the 100 sexiest women, and you can't help talking about sex. But every time one of us lads dips our wick without contraception, we too run the risk of becoming a parent. But is becoming a dad really that bad? Can teens make good parents?
I think it depends on how mature the person is, really.
Well, I want to be able to have kids till I'm about 35, saying that.
I just think they should be more concentrating on their education.
Looking at myself, I would not be able to have a baby, and I don't think that many other teenagers have any kind of sense of responsibility for children.
If they've got a good support, you know, with their parents, I think they can cope with it.
If they're 13, 14, that young, not really, because they're still at high school, they're still little kids in their own mind.
I think it completely depends on the person and what they want out of their life.
I think it's a very tough thing to take on as a teen.
With me, like, a career is more important than, it sounds horrible, but than a family.
They haven't really lived the proper life, have they, to teach a younger person how to live theirs, so how would they be able to look after a young child?
I think if they're in a strong relationship and they have got the father beside them, then yeah.
A lot of girls do it to not have jobs and to get benefits. So yes, I do believe they can, for the right reasons.
I know some people do have children at 14 and stuff. I think fair play to them if they can do it, but I could never do it.
In my mind, no. I'm 20 years old and I don't believe I could fetch a child into this world. I don't think I will be able to when I'm 25.
I think that teenagers can make good parents, but I don't think that they can provide everything that someone who's older can provide.
OK, Richard, teenage pregnancy, hard facts, is it on the increase?
It's actually on the decrease, Richard, over the past few years. The government want to reduce it by 50%, by half, by 2010. Last year there was a slight increase, but that's just a little blip, they say. But generally it has been on the decrease.
OK, what are the government doing about it, though?
Well, there's a massive campaign going on to educate young people, because British Britain has the highest rate of teenage pregnancy in Europe.
Okay, that's Britain, but what about our region?
Well, locally, in Yorkshire and the Humber region is the second highest in this country for teenage pregnancies. And a bit closer to home in North Kirkley, so Dewsbury, Batley, Murfield, that kind of way, they've done a study recently, and 1 in 10 14-year-olds have admitted to having sex.
No, 1 in 10, but I believe it's worse than that.
Yeah, that's not the real problem. The problem with that figure is that half of those didn't use contraception.
Okay, so obviously if it's a one-off, they may be lucky, they may get away with it. But if they're going to keep running the risk, obviously they're running the risk of becoming a parent, and a teen parent at that.
Exactly, and if they don't use contraception, this problem about teenage pregnancy isn't going to get solved.
Okay, well there's the figures, but the best people to ask about the facts are the mums themselves. Joining us are Yvelle and Louise, who are both teen mums. Would you say it was a positive experience, girls, for you?
Yeah, well, a negative one anyway.
I don't know. Did you plan the birth?
No, it wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned at all?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, and what did it affect your life? What were you doing at the time when you felt
I
pregnant?
was working and at college, just finished college, sorry.
You'd finished college? So
yeah.
you didn't have to stop going to college?
No, but I was working off, which I stopped just before having it.
What about yourself, Yvelle?
I've always worked, and I worked all throughout my pregnancy up until August. I was 19 whilst I was pregnant. I had my daughter just after my 20th
Okay, and was it a totally positive experience for you?
Not at first. At first I was disappointed. I thought my life was ruined. But
And was it ruined? That's what we need to know. What radically changed?
just knowing that I've got this extra person I've got to carry around with me all the time, and got to take care of and make sure she's all right. I can't dump her anywhere. Or
Yeah, of course. It's a major readjustment, obviously.
Yeah.
Have you got any closer to finding a nice balance now? Are you happier with it?
Yeah, because I'm back at work now, so I find it a lot easier to have time for myself and time at home.
I think we might have a few questions from our audience. Justine?
Yes, Richard, I'm here with Victoria. Now, what's your question?
What was your initial reaction when you first fell pregnant?
Fright.
Did it ruin you? You think it's ruined your life?
No, I didn't think it would ruin my life. I just didn't know what to do, who to tell.
Were your parents the first person that you told?
No, my partner, my boyfriend, yeah.
Was he quite supportive?
Yeah, very supportive, yeah.
And Rachel?
Are you glad that you had your children, and do you feel you've coped?
Yes, I feel I have coped, and I think I have no regrets because she's beautiful.
Well, it's great that you two have had a positive experience, but you have been lucky, it needs to be said. We had somebody lined up to come on the show, and her baby was sick and she couldn't make it. She's got no support, her partner left her, and it does happen quite a lot. Now, if you've got any questions about teenage pregnancy, life in general, or anything at all, log on to the website at lateattitude.com. Well, there certainly seems to be plenty of celebrities expecting babies at the moment, with the likes of Sarah Cox and Sophie Ellis-Bextor showing off their bumps. But you can bet your bottom dollar there's also going to be a few celebrity relationships hitting the rocks at the same time.
Like Charlotte Church and Tom Cruise?
Yeah, exactly. Love on the rebound. What do you think? Do you think love on the rebound could work?
I don't agree, because you would have just come out of a relationship with somebody and you're not being able to put your full 100% commitment to that person.
You think you need a little bit of time between the two?
A little bit of time, yeah. I think it's ridiculous.
What about you, Justine?
I think the whole thing's bullshit, to be honest with you. The word rebound doesn't mean anything. It's just to clear your conscience. It seriously is. If the only reason why people will say that you're in a relationship purely for the rebound is if your feelings have been hurt, why did you just be honest and say you're shagging?
Justine, I think you're having a rant, and that's coming later on in the show.
I certainly am, yeah.
Well, look, that's what this lot think, but what do you think?
There's only one feeling worse than being dumped, and that's being lonely. So often we try and get into another relationship as quickly as possible. But do relationships work when you're on the rebound?
They work now and again, but it's very rare.
They'll have a relationship with someone even though it's not the right person, but they'll still keep with them because they don't want to be alone.
If you just come out of like a really strong relationship, then it takes time to get over them.
If you're on a relationship rebound, you just got to for anyone you can.
Sometimes just being on the rebound is just, you know, that's something that you have to do to get over the person you've just broken up with.
As long as you just like get over it and just carry on, because life goes on, doesn't it?
If you're going to go straight into another relationship, you're just going to expect the same thing, and you're not going to think that this is a different person and a different personality.
If it's a long relationship, then they definitely don't work. But you know, if it's only like a little fling, I think it's not really called a rebound.
You come out of a relationship and you do want to get into another because you're going to miss everything that you've had.
Liz, are there any celebrity relationships out there that started on the rebound but have survived?
Yeah, there must be loads in Hollywood, come on.
You see, the thing about rebound with me is that it seems like they're just trying to piss your ex off.
There are other reasons as well, though.
Such
Come on,
as?
some people trying to fill a void. Maybe if you've had your confidence knocked, it kind of boosts
If you're a bit bored, maybe, you say.
bit bored, maybe you want a few one-night stands, perhaps.
Cheeky. But what about the ones that have survived it as well?
The ones that have survived it, I guess, kind of, well, the ones that failed it first of all, Tom Cruise and Penelope Cruz, they've split up this week. I reckon he may still hold a candle for Nicole Kidman.
But he was with her for 3 years, that's a long time.
She'd be cross if that was the real reason, wouldn't she?
Exactly.
But
Who
the
else?
ones that have worked, Justin Timberlake and Cameron Diaz, he was upset over Britney for a long, long time. She's got a string of celeb boyfriends, but that's looking promising for them.
OK, thank you.
You've got a nightmare rebound story for us, haven't you?
I do indeed, yes. I was going out with a guy, and the night we broke up, I went out and I met this other guy. We went out for 2 months, and that 2 months, I made it hell for him because I just compared him to my ex-boyfriend.
So you made it hell for the guy that you got with.
So
who broke up the relationship?
My boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend.
So he broke it up, you were on the rebound.
I was on the rebound,
and you used the guy.
I used the guy, and I'm really sorry.
No need to apologise now. You've done it. You've done it, haven't you? Well, thanks for that. What about you, sir? You've got a rebound story for us?
No, not as such, but I used to be a nightmare to quite a lot of young ladies back home, because I'm originally from Wolverhampton, and I used to have a different girlfriend every week, and I'm not proud of it, but I realised that I hurt them because they love me, but I don't believe in love.
So lots of mini rebounds there?
Yeah.
Why don't you believe in love? Something gone wrong a bit further down the line that we don't want to talk about?
Yeah, because I'm scared of getting hurt, because when you love someone, you get hurt, and I don't want to be hurt.
Well, don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. With the days getting longer and the weather, hopefully, getting warmer, with plenty of us willing to get our bodies out, spring fever kicks in. With all of that in mind, which 3 stars would you choose to sex up your spring?
Number 1, definitely Jennifer Love Hewitt.
My number 1 man, definitely, is Ewan McGregor.
The hotties of spring 2004, next on Late Attitude. Welcome back to Late Attitude, where it leads in evolution, and joining us are journalist Richard Purvis and DJ Liz Whittaker from 96.3 Radio Air. Now remember, this show is where you get to have your say, so if there's something that's really pissing you off at the moment, or equally making you grin like a buffoon, then log on and let us know. The address, of course, is lateattitude.com. One thing that does seem to be getting you going at the moment is music, and in particular the charts and the calibre of acts that are making it big in the UK at the moment. It just seems that good-looking guys right across the country are desperate to join a boy band, with allegedly even Colin Farrell auditioning for one in the past. Boyzone. So what do you think, girls? Would Colin Farrell have made a good addition to Boyzone?
I don't think he'd have fitted with the existing members, but I'd have definitely been a fan.
What about you? Do you like pop?
Well, to be honest, I don't really like Boyzone. If Colin Farrell had been a member, I would have probably taken more of an interest.
But you like pop?
I absolutely love pop. I think there's nothing better than a bit of cheese.
You're shaking your head over there.
But pop is absolute shite. I'm sorry, I don't like it at all. It's just all the same. It's corny. It's fake. And half of that is, you can't call them artists. They don't even produce their own music. Half of them.
That's good. Thank you for that. Like her, are you pissed off with pop?
I'm pissed off with pop because the artists are not doing what they feel. It's too commercialised these days.
I think we need a bit of mixture. Like Top of the Pops have just changed and they've got everything on there now.
I'm not too into pop music myself. It's alright to dance to, it's a laugh when you go out.
Well, it's not exactly the best of music to listen to now, is it? It's probably mediocre and the biggest pile of wank there is.
How can we be pissed off with pop? For the definition of the word, it's popular music, so no, I'm not pissed off with pop.
I don't listen to pop. I don't listen to radio at all anymore because I'm just fed up of the music. It all sounds the same.
I love pop music. I think it's great.
Pop. What is pop now? I haven't got a clue. I mean, you've got the cheeky girls and then you compare them to Kylie. I really, couldn't say.
Kind of gets on your nerves out all these, well, like little bands which write their own music and then they're just getting shoved out of the way over these pop idol and all that crap.
I like some pop music, but not cheesy pop. The best music today is coming from America. Britain, what has gone wrong?
Everyone always goes for the same style. They never think of something original.
Such artists as like cheeky girls are just taking the mick a bit, really. They're taking the spotlight off the people that work to get where they are.
Pop music is manufactured and it's all controlled to make money by Pete Waterman, Simon Cowell's.
There's not a lot of variety in the charts and songs come and go within a week, so what's the point in that?
Liz, what's your view on Britain's music industry? Do you think it's become lazy and we're reliant on marketing?
Well, Victoria Beckham's kind of a classic example of somebody who's thrown all the money in the world at her career. You can only spend so much on marketing and videos. At the end of the day, if you ain't got the raw talent, you're not going to make it to the top.
Exactly, and that's the good thing about pop idols, is because if you haven't got the genuine talent, you'll get picked out straight to where you've got to get up on stage and sing live.
Exactly. If you haven't got the good voice in the first place, you're going to fall at the first hurdle of those talent shows on TV.
And what do you think about reality talent shows? Do you think we've had enough of it?
I think it's getting that way, to be totally honest with you. I mean, for example, generic pop is kind of on its way out.
I think we're getting a bit pissed off with it.
Brian's walked out of Westlife, Tash has walked out of Atomic Kitten.
Yeah.
You know, they're on their way out, sort of generic pop acts, but they're paving the way for more independent acts to come along. You know, the Black Eyed Peas are a good example. They're really edgy, and also Katie Mello has come along with a jazz tip, which has never been really seen before in pop
Talent
music.
is paramount.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Liz.
It certainly seems that a lot of people are pissed off with pop at the moment, and these two lads from Leeds-based band Pineapple, you've got plenty to say on, haven't you?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it seems that today that the record companies are only worried about sticking on a pretty face and just selling a product like that. They don't actually care about the music anymore, and as a result, a lot of rubbish has come out.
Do you get somewhere to play? That's the question. Where can people see you play?
Oh, there's plenty of places around Leeds and Bradford and around the country where we've played. It just requires a lot of hard work to be able to get the gigs and that kind of thing, but there are places to play if you want to.
Okay, are you really pissed off with pop? Do you think it's that terrible? What about the Pop Idol thing?
To me, I mean, if people feel the need to go on Pop Idol to get fame and fortune, then that's fine. It's up to them. But I don't expect me to go and buy their records. I'm probably not going to buy anything.
What if we did a Band Idol though? Would you feel the same about it? Would you put yourself on Band Idol for a same?
Well, if we're in a position to not completely sell it and have some control, then yes, of course, because we need all the coverage we can get.
You need to get yourself some column
Well,
entries,
yeah,
don't you?
exactly.
Okay, so you don't mind prostituting yourselves as long as it's for the right cause, right?
I wouldn't use those words at all. I think we'd promote ourselves because that's what bands need to do.
Okay, that's cool, guys. Thank you.
We've got some questions for the band, haven't we? What's your question?
Where do you see yourself in the future, and do you think it's easy to get signed up for a record deal?
Well, in today's industry, it is pretty hard because everyone is only concerned about image, in our opinion, and in a lot of other people's opinion. But I think the long-term goals for us is to actually get some kind of record deal. It won't be easy. It hasn't been easy, but we think we're getting closer.
What about you, Sid?
How do you promote yourself around the local area and stuff?
Well, I mean, there's all sorts of things we can do. I mean, we've managed to get CDs in HMV and Bradford and Leeds and stuff. We've got a website, pineappleonline.com. And also just working hard, playing gigs, writing songs, just doing as much kind of band stuff as we possibly can.
When can we next see you live?
It's the 30th of April at Bradford Rios. Everybody's welcome. It'll be great.
Brilliant. Look forward to it.
We'll hear more from Pineapple when they perform at the end of the show. Let us know what you think about any of this week's topics by logging on to lateattitudes.com. We're filming in Sheffield next week, so let us know if you want to be on. Loads of emails from last week. Stevie P from Hull said, "Why have you got so many idiots on your show? The lack of intelligence is frightening. No wonder George Bush got elected." Small point, Steve. The Americans elected him. We didn't.
Very true. Now, my first email's on alien chats from Max from Leeds. All this talk of alien invasion is bollocks. Anyone who believes that aliens are among us needs to stop watching X-Files and get out more.
That's good advice. Okay, on racial integration, Warren Beatty said it best when he was in that film Bulworth. Everybody's just got to keep fucking until we're all the same colour. That's Joe from York.
Dan from Bradford says, "I'm always a little sceptical when eating brown stuff, and that chocolate curry would have me worried, especially if it was a bit nutty."
Oh, you might actually put me off curries there. Well, you may well be pissed off with pop, and a recent survey suggests that pop Princess Britney is hitting #1 all over the shop, and I'm not just talking about the charts. Recently, a well-known lads mag did a survey of the 100 sexiest women, and she came out on top. The question is, who would you choose?
Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. I think he's fit.
Cameron Diaz, Halle Berry, and Jennifer Love Hewitt. All three of them are really nice, you know. They just look like nice with the curves and everything. I've got nothing to babble on.
George Clooney, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
Probably J-Lo, yeah. J-Lo. You got to have a nice booby.
Fran Healy from Travis.
Jada Pinkett.
David Beckham.
Britney Spears.
Oh, I would pick Britney. Oh, no way.
I don't think
God, she looks like plastic. 50 Cent.
Beyonce.
Definitely Colin Farrell, because I really think he's gorgeous.
Orlando Bloom.
Keira Knightley.
Damien Rice.
And Queen Latifah.
Orlando Bloom.
Scarlett Johansson.
Justin Timberlake.
Tyson Beckford.
Johnny Depp.
Antonio Banderas. And my boyfriend Richard.
Joshua Hartnett.
Fight Club, yes. Yes, Brad Pitt. Johnny Depp.
And what about me?
I don't think so.
Richard, the top 3 sexiest women, it's such a difficult choice.
Where do you start?
Top
Top 3?
I might like to start.
Exactly. Kate Moss for me, she'd be in my top 100, but she'd be definitely in the top 3.
Charlize Theron for myself personally. But the list here is officially Britney Spears, number 1, Rachel Stevens, number 2, and they were there or thereabouts last year apparently. Beyoncé Knowles came in at number 3. Rank outsider.
That's all about the stick-thin, curvy kind of thing, because Beyoncé, she's got some lovely curves.
Yeah, sure. Now, there's another poll recently, apparently, about asking whether women should or shouldn't be airbrushed in magazines. What do you think about that?
I think if you asked any woman, she would say, I want to look my best.
So the fact is, looking at them, they'd say, no, airbrushing shouldn't be allowed, but if I'm going to be in the magazine, airbrush me, please.
If they were in that magazine and their front image was going to be on the front cover, they'd be like, please, get rid of my cellulite, get rid of it.
I didn't hear my name on the list there, Richard. Funny. What about you? Do you like them airbrushed or do you like the real thing?
I think it depends, really. I don't think there's very much wrong with airbrushing out the odd spot, but when it comes to changing whole body shapes, I think that's taking it too far.
I'd go airbrushed, I have to say, to be honest with you. Now, I've heard loads about the guys talking about the girls. What about the girls on the guys?
Well, it's got to be Brad Pitt, Colin Farrell, Orlando Bloom, and maybe Justin Timberlake as well.
They're all very, 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 very good choices. Lovely.
Log on to lateattitude.com to shock us with your suggestions of sexy ladies or fit guys, or alternatively, just let us know what you want to talk about next week. Well, that's almost it for this week. Thanks first to Liz and Richard from 96.3 Radio Air, and of course to Justine and everybody else who's joined us today. We're back with some more Late Attitude next week, when it'll be Hallam FM's turn to lend a hand. Now, though, it's time for a real live Yorkshire band with some live and loud music. It's Pineapple.
She a bright star, dances and flirts with all the guys. Who'd have guessed that she was mine? I sit in the corner and I watch her so, and I don't realize that I'm alone. And I know that she takes advantage of my good nature. I know that she couldn't give a damn about my feelings. I wonder why I let them do this to me all the time. I'll never